four-time Mr Olympia Jay Cutler. Welcome to my channel, Jay Cutler TV, and make sure to stay in tune with the newest and updated videos. Subscribe below, guys. Thank you so much for following along.
Jaywalking.
Yeah, so I go to Dubai in a couple of days, and it's my third year going there. But you know what's funny is, like, when I get ready to go on these trips, no matter what it is, whether it's great things I do or financial, obviously there's financial reward to go, I don't want to go. It's so weird, man. Like,
you mean right before you go?
Yeah, I get kind of like in a different mood because, like, I think about, man, I'm gonna be away from my element, and my element is my home, you know?
Yeah.
And I've always said that, my sanctuary is kind of in Vegas. I built this house in 07, and I've kind of been like, it was kind of my dream house then. And you remember we used to have all the parties out there.
Oh man.
And everyone used to come, and we'd have all the people in training, and I know we're just talking, reminiscing of stories, but yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, I was talking about you with the Max Muscle store. People that don't know, like, watching these films, Dave and I actually had a Max Muscle store in Venice. And we tried to call it Jay Cutler's Max Muscle, but they said that would be too competitive against the other ones.
We still did it, but there was a lot of other stores that weren't too happy about it. Yeah,
so we had it right on the corner behind the firehouse, and it was on the corner of Rose and Hampton Ave, and it had been there historically. People that don't know, before Dave, it was Flex Wheeler's store.
Flex Wheeler and Gary Stridham. It used to be.
Oh, he did?
It was Crazy Wear store.
Oh, that's
before
right.
us.
That's right. So it was next to a little place called Fresh to Go. So, like, we'd get food. Like, food would be delivered right next door. It was like literally a step next door. And then all the pros would come and hang out. Chris Cormier, Tom Prince,
Lee Priest, Bob Ciccarello.
I mean, probably
all of them.
Craig Titus when he lived there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the guys would come, and they'd hang out for hours on end, and all the tourists would come.
Yeah.
And they'd come hang out there. And a lot of stories were written. I mean, my best friend from high school, Matt, I mean, he slept on that couch for a month.
And Matt's
and
like
now
a
he's
big
like a
wig.
Successful,
big wig
executive at a huge hotel chain now. So it's kind of crazy. We were talking to Alex. Remember, he lived there, and he cooked on the hot plate and shit. In that little bed in the back.
That store saved a lot of people's life.
What I don't understand is, like, you worked at the store and you lived like fucking ages away. How far was the drive every day?
I was in West Covina for a while. I was in Brea for a while.
Did you sleep at the store ever?
No, I never really had to. But if I
And what hours were you there?
I mean, I had the life. And back in because I bought it in 04. And then
we had my checks on the wall. Remember all my checks?
You would keep your Olympia checks. You would sign them, and I would frame them, put on the wall. I mean, people used to say, "What is this? A Jay Cutler shrine?" Right before your name was on it, they were like, "What is that? Is that Jay's store?" Yeah, it was great. I mean, I remember those years, like 08. I would train with Bob around 12 o'clock. Bob Ciccarello was the gym.
You were Bob's training partner.
Yeah. After Tom
How were
was
those
done.
workouts? Those weren't very hard, were they?
Not to your standards, they weren't.
We need to get Ciccarello on here to tell a couple of the stories.
I know.
Of Gold's Gym Venice, because he was a big, like, TV guy, like commercial guy. He'd try out for all the commercials, all the Gold's Gym Venice guys.
Yeah.
I think they'd put the casting on the wall and ask for bodybuilders, and everyone in the fucking gym would show up to the casting.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And dude, I remember trying out for stuff when I was in Orange County. Like,
you did?
I'm like, I'm gonna get into this. I went up once, Dave. And I went in there. It took me so long to get there from Orange County. It was like a morning casting. And I drove up there, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm
not doing that.
I'm not going to drive up here and like, unless they call me and say, hey, we want you for this part. I ain't going to. They cast for bodybuilders, bro, and they get some fucking little fitness guy that looks like he just is toned. You know what I mean? That's what their bodybuilder perception was.
Yeah, that's where he got that from. Okay,
so,
gotcha.
And I mean, I know Brad Rowe's done a lot of stuff.
He's done well, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of residual, but I don't see as many guys now, huh?
Yeah.
Has it slowed down a lot?
I'm sure it goes through phases. Sometimes they need it, sometimes they don't, but yeah.
But that Max Muscle, man, those are the days, like, we used to have those parties over there.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I won the Mr Olympia in 06, I was contracted for the clothing with Max Muscle. They used to send me clothes every month, and they paid me. But we had like a contract with all the Max Muscles to do appearances.
Oh, dude.
And you know, I was getting whatever $5,000 a gig then.
You were making the rounds. All the stores wanted to have you.
I remember after the Olympia, I'd have like every weekend booked, like to go to these stores and do a 3-hour meet and greet and sign, and the fucking they would be packed. Like 500,000 people would show up there, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember booking those left and right. I mean, I probably made an average $50,000 a year from at least 10 appearances on those.
Oh, at least.
Max Muscle stores, you know what I mean? That was a majority.
Yeah.
Plus I was guest posing. I was booked every single week. So when I see now, like, it's all changed. I see, you know, Roden wins the Mr. Olympia. I know he's been in China and Hong Kong, whatever. Yeah. But like, there's nothing, like, he's not booked guest posing or doing like crazy stuff. I know he's done one or something, but like it's just crazy. Like,
it didn't stop for you, man. And it's funny. And it's funny because when you won the Olympia, I remember me and Kerry talking like, okay, now that he's Mr. Olympia, we can actually raise his fee.
Yeah.
That way he doesn't have to work as much. You can get paid for one appearance and not have to do 4. But you were such in demand that even though we raised your fee, you still would get booked everywhere. Yeah. That didn't work out too well.
Remember when we jacked up the overseas
20,000,
and we booked 3 weekends in a row.
You never thought you would get it. You hired me as your manager. You say, I don't want to ask for $20,000. You work for me.
We got $60K in 3 weeks just in appearance fees.
Were you shocked? I knew they were gonna pay it. I knew they were gonna pay it.
Remember, that was 20 plus.
That's crazy.
A business ticket.
Yeah.
Plus, I sold merchandise. So
that's awesome.
I mean, forget it. What I do? I did Turkey. I did.
Did you go to Dubai? I know. Sasha
Dubai
was trying to take you. Yeah. There you go.
Dubai was one. Turkey was one. That was my first time in Dubai, actually. And then there was one more. I'm trying to think where I went.
Yeah.
South Africa.
Okay.
South Africa.
Okay.
I did a gym opening out there. That was awesome, man. Those are good old days. I mean, listen, I still demand a good number, but you know, I go to Dubai next week, and it's actually more than that. But
wow, that's awesome.
It's pretty cool to reminisce back. I mean, I wish I could book 3 weeks in a row like that, like international stuff. But you know, back then it was like I was the only guy showcased because the magazines, of course.
Yeah.
I was the biggest name. There weren't any like Instagram or YouTubers or.
That's right.
Fuck, YouTube was just starting out then.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to kind of reminisce. But those Max Muscle days.
Yeah.
You guys, if you guys have ever visited Max Muscle Venice, comment below, guys, because I'd like to hear, like, oh, I walked in there and so was there.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned the names, but do me a favor, guys. Take 2 minutes of your time and comment below, like to talk maybe about an experience where you met someone there, or me, or whoever you actually got to see Dave, because I'd like to see how many of the old followers, you know, from back then. I mean, listen, that was, when was that? 8? You got the store in 8, right?
No, 04.
Okay,
you came on board in 06.
So shit, that was 10. That was, you know, 16 years ago almost. You know.
And I sold it in 2010.
So let's get some comments, that guys, and you know, but we got some cool stuff planned as we're shooting here, continuous, and you know, keep following along, guys. Subscribe.